Yo guys, right now we have new limited merch over on Teespring, and I just revamped my Patreon with some brand new perks, early thumbnail access, as well as a surprise charm every month. Also, I stream Best Team for Radical Red right here. Sub the Zora for Best Team for Radical Red Let's Play, episode 1's up by the way. Sage, anime. Follow me on my socials, especially Insta and TikTok. I'm getting really active out there. You may even get subtle hints for videos and cute pet photos. All these will be in the description below and in the iCard above. Legendary Pokemon, the true all-stars of the Pokemon universe. These Pokemon are renowned for their strengths, viability, and presences. It truly makes you wonder how well these Pokemon stack up. Well, today, I think I have those results. We're going to be ranking all the legendaries from weakest to strongest. Megas and Primals will also not be included. So with that out of the way, let's start our long legendary journey. Slow start really makes Regigigas terrible. If you don't agree with this spot, then you don't play Pokemon. Also, Neutralizing, Gas, Wheezing, and this combo are way too situational. Following Regigigas, we have one of its creations, Regice. As an Ice type with a fragile physical defense and abysmal speed, it's just not good enough for an Ice type, and that's why Regice falls flat. UB05 Gluttony. A dark dragon-type Pokemon without the necessary tools to shine as bright as other Pokemon of the same typing. Regirock is a strong defensive wall and a decent rock setter, but Regirock's main utility for a team is not really that necessary, and there are many Pokemon who do Regirock's job much better. No legendary needed. Articuno. Even with heavy-duty boots, you really don't have a lot to offer, do ya? At least you have a beautiful design. Reggie Drago is the fourth Reggie to make this list, but unlike the rest, Reggie Drago actually has a small niche for itself, being its signature move, Dragon Energy. A Dragon-type eruption on a Pokemon with 200 base HP is insane, if only it had better coverage than Ancient Power or a speed stat over base 80. What can I say about Virizion? Grass Fighting isn't a stellar type. Its move pool is like nothing to brag about, and its stats are kinda shady bad. Here's Stakataka. This thing is a giant wall. It's also a Trick Room Pokemon, but with a 4x weakness to both ground and fighting. But there really wasn't much hope for this Pokemon from the get-go. Slow speed and weak to some of the strongest typings in the game? Yeah, no. The first of the Galar birds, we have Gloria and Moltres. While its typing and stats are fine, the biggest crutch for Gloria and Moltres is a lack of recovery outside of rest. Its great ability and stat line get hurt significantly by the fact it can't recover in order to gain constant boosts from Berserk when it drops below half. Solid wall, solid steel type, solid moves, and stall. It really does suck that Regis still has to be way up here, because way back when, it used to be a lot better. Back then, there wasn't as much competition. Unlike Cantonian Articuno, this isn't the worst of the Galarian birds. Being the only of the three to get recovery, this helps it take hits fairly well as a bulky Psychic type. The biggest issue is the fact Flying and Psychic get walled by a lot of common types, especially Steel-type Pokemon, but at least it, unlike regular Articuno, can also pivot out against them. Due to it being so mixed, Mesprit is the worst of the Lake Guardians. All stats are fairly average, which means that it underperforms in terms of both offense and defense compared to other counterparts. It's sad. Even with heavy-duty boots, you still suck. I will say though, you got buffed, and that's an honor. But you're still outclassed. Sorry, Moltres. Uxie has a lot of potential as a wall and a screen setter. It just sucks there are much better options. In the lower tiers, and in some cases draft format, Uxie can actually be pretty damn powerful. I know Xurkitree made it to the strongest electric type, but compared to these legends, it really doesn't stack up. And yes, that special attack stat is very high, but everything else is subpar. As the leader of the Swords of Justice, Kobalian is a bit unimpressive, but it does show off its strong side when you can use its versatility both as a defensive rocker and as a Swords Dance sweeper. The Volcano God of Generation 2. I remember using Entei all the time when I battled in competitive Generation 6. I loved running Banded sets along with some other variations. Entei is a great Pokemon for where it's at. Also, it's got a shallow move pool, but it does well with what it has. Arceus Drive multi-attack base 95 across the board. Processing results. Average with selective typing, aka Suxius. It may just be one of the most annoying, bulky stall Pokemon in the history of the game. But after a taunt, this Pokemon is completely shut down. And as tanky as Cresselia is, it's just not strong enough. UBO2 absorption is as swole as it gets, but it's still a bug fighting type with a low special defense and a less than stellar speed stat. Due to these conditions, it falls a bit short. The offensively capable of the Lake Guardians, with a fast explosion rocker and a versatile attacker on the physical and special side. Unfortunately, it's a bit of a glass cannon, but can be a good tool for your team in lower tiers. As cool as Nihilgo's introduction was, and how specially capable it is in offense and defense, it lacks a pretty important stat as a rock type, that being defense, and physical priority is not scarce in the Pokemon games, which ultimately leads to Nihilgo's downfall. The Ultra Beast with the second highest special attack stat is Blacephalon, sporting a 151 special attack stat and having a 127 attack stat. Not to mention, for a Ghost and Fire type, it has a 107 speed stat. Blacephalon just has an incredible offensive typing, and the stats support it. Glacier has a lot going for it, such as a really tank-based stat line and a strong ability that's basically Moxie. It's also got strong physical coverage with 145 attack to boast. Truly, its only downfall comes in that poor 30 base speed. Otherwise, this is a fairly strong wall breaker, especially in Trick Room. Just, Trick Room sadly isn't very viable out of doubles. Raikou has always just been kinda a little above average. It has Calm Mind, Aura Sphere, Pivot with Volt Switch, and overall decent electric power. Definitely a very great bulky water type. Suicune has always been viable, especially with the Crocoon set. Crocoon is Rest, Sleep Talk, Calm Mind, and Scald or Ice Beam, depending on the option you want to run. Though I'd suggest Ice Beam, because Water Absorb is a very annoying thing to deal with. The strongest of the Swords of Justice. Tracheon stands at the top with a very powerful typing and move pool. That alone truly justifies its seat as the most powerful Sword of Justice. The Tapus are all really good, but of the 4 Tapus, we find Tapu Bulu to be the least stellar one. It's basically being completely replaced by Rillaboom. However, Tapu Bulu is still a fantastic Pokemon, with a powerful Wood Hammer and a wide set of coverage moves in its kit. Bulu has the capabilities to really bring the pain. Just like its counterpart Gloria and Moltres, the biggest drawback here is a lack of reliable recovery. At the very least, Galarian Zapdos' signature move Thunderous Kick is a base 90 attack that allows it to drop opposing Pokemon's defense by 1 stage every time it hits. It's a strong breaker with a pretty easy time pivoting against walls it can't break, and with Defiant, it can even get past common Intimidate options. Similar to Reggie Drago, the only coverage this Reggie gets is Ancient Power. Luckily, for Regieleki however, it's a lot easier to put this Pokemon on archetypes such as Rain to counter its immunity to ground-type Pokemon. Pair that with Thunder, now hitting 100% of the time, and this Pokemon is disgusting to switch on, or even outpace with that base 200 speed. I used to love Origami, and seeing a Pokemon based on that, but with some incredibly sharp edges, you know I'm excited. With Kartana, we have a monstrous 182 attack stat and 109 speed. Watch out for a potential Swords Dance booster, Sacred Sword, Leaf Blade, or Smart Strike. If this deadly little warrior gets a knockout, Beast Boost will most of the time boost its attack even higher. Tapu Fini has access to a phenomenal defensive typing that allows it to handle a wide variety of threats. With an immunity to status with its terrain up, along with a great set of bulk with 70 HP, 115 defense, and 130 special defense, this Pokemon is annoying to have to kill. The only thing holding Fini back is it now clears its own terrain upon clicking Defog. Otherwise, this would easily be higher on the list. Heatran has always been a Pokemon that has been able to stand the test of time. I am glad it at least still has value in the top 36. Great Rock Setter, Air Balloon with Lava Plume is always great, and Magma Storm trapping is also very fun. Topi Lele this generation has fallen heavily from grace. With Terrain only doing 1.3 times damage now, and the loss of Z moves, Topi Lele has lost a lot of damage output, but also a strong way of dealing with checks. Even still, this Pokemon can block priority with its terrain, and still hits hard enough to shatter a fair bit of teams on its own, just no longer to the extent it did in Generation 7. Well, that wraps up this first half of ranking these legendaries, and there are over 30 more to go from here. These next Pokemon are truly the all-stars of the Pokemon world, so be sure to check out part 2 when it comes out tomorrow. So with that said, thank you to everyone for watching the video. Huge thanks to my phenomenal team and the amazing art done each week by Danny the Demon. I couldn't do all this without them. If you all enjoyed the video and want to see more content like this, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Be sure to leave a comment too, as it really helps us out. I also do other content on my Twitch, where I stream Genshin Impact, Mystic Zora, where I do Pokemon Let's Plays and other gaming content, and of course MysticSage, where I do all anime content. Right now, I'm focusing on Inuyasha and Yashahime, so if you're interested in that, be sure to check it out. If you'd like to support me even further than that, check out my Patreon. Whether it's a $1 tip to get early thumbnail access, or the $10 tier to get cool perler bead charms and a shoutout. There's tons of reasons to join today. These lovely people did, and I thank them all so much for their support. It really means the world to me. I think I'm gonna wrap this up though. I'm Mr. Gumbrion, and I will see you all next time with some more amazing Pokemon content.